Titan II, the largest and the most powerful ballistic missile in our arsenal.
In the middle of the Cold War, Tucson was ground zero for the U.S. missile defense. 18 of the Air Force's 54 Titan II missile silos were located here.
The primary mission of the Titan II was peace through deterrence.
Yvonne Morris is the director of the Titan Missile Museum in Green Valley. She has a unique perspective, having been a Titan II missile combat crew commander at this site in the early 80s.
It was an implement of war, but its main responsibility, our main mission, was peace through deterrence.
The 18 Titan II missile sites were built simultaneously across southeast Arizona. Construction began in December of 1960, and all 18 were operational by December of 1961. Well, today, when you take a tour of the Titan Missile Museum, you'll see what a massive undertaking it was to build and to operate, all with the constant threat of a Soviet strike.
The warhead would have been carried in the re-entry vehicle, and this is actually the only part of the missile that's going to reach its target.
Fortunately, there was never a need to launch, and this site came off alert in November of 1982. It's now a national landmark and well worth the one-hour tour.
Look at that great big tan structure over there. That covers our missile. That's our silo blast door. That thing weighs 760 tons, and it's built out of the best concrete you can get.
Wow.
And it's built out of the best steel you can get. In fact, it's battleship grade steel.
Wow.
And do you believe, in the event of emergency, it can be opened in about 19 seconds.
John Green is one of the instructors at the Titan Missile Museum. He'll take you underground, going through the same security procedures Yvonne and all the crews went through when it was still operational.
They're being watched on that black and white video camera right there. The replacement commander makes his third telephone call at the head of the steps right there. That's where he gives a secret code to gain access. If the secret code is okay, he'll burn that secret code in that red tin can right there. Still see the burn marks on it. We're 35 feet below ground right now. We just came down 55 steps. Now, do we all agree this is a pretty well-built industrial
It's very well built, yes.
Right here is the start of the hardened area. These walls are 4 feet thick. You'll find areas of this complex where the walls are 8 feet thick.
There are 2 pair of 6,000-pound blast doors to go through before entering the Launch Control Center.
Just have a chair.
Okay, and this is where Yvonne would have sat.
Yvonne actually sat in that chair in 1982.
All right.
This very chair
so
right here.
we can get a perspective of what she did.
The alert comes in. Both officers write down the 35-digit code and compare the numbers. If they agree, they open the safe and retrieve the launch keys on authenticated cards. If those numbers correspond to the code they just received, the president has authorized the launch. They then enter the butterfly code, and each of them inserts their launch key.
3, 2, 1. Turn and hold. Hold it there until that green light comes on. Tell me when it comes. It's on. You can release. Now your job is done. If all the guidances go, the engines will fire. When the engines are at 77% thrust, the 4 gigantic hold-down bolts will explode off on both sides. And 4 seconds later, we have, right here, liftoff. Now, folks, that was 58 seconds between the time that key was turned until that missile's out of the silo.
Once your heart rate slows down, the tour takes you across to the missile silo to see that the Titan II didn't actually launch. But you do learn much more about the impressive 2-stage rocket, back to the surface, and a reminder about why it's so important to remember the Cold War through this museum.
Because if our younger generation does not understand the Cold War and learn about all the mistakes that we made during this period, when they become leaders,
Right.
and they will, they're liable to make the same
They might repeat it, yeah.
that we did.
Yeah. Well, it's impressive, and it's well worth the tour. I want to thank Yvonne. I want to thank you, John, for the tour. Absolutely, Arizona is the Titan II Missile Museum.
Absolutely.
All right.